Would you believe that I was a bit worried coming over here that I hadn't had time to change into black tie? You know, awards dinner, all that, very chic, and then of course I'm in a room with a bunch of programmers. I feel like taking mine off, but it's good to see Rod Drury here because that makes two of us wearing one of these archaic pieces of gear.
I'm disappointed for our country, for our party. Most of all, I'm disappointed for Peter because I think he will live forever with this haunting sense of what might have been.
They have a substantial majority, and to do that as an opposition leader is a considerable achievement, and I congratulate him on his victory.
Let's presume that we do have another 5-year Commonwealth State Disabilities Agreement that actually has some substance to it. If we're able to achieve that, we should use this next 5 years to actually turn this whole thing on its head.
I must say that some of the fine detail of the Coalition's short-term, medium-term and long-term vision for the ICT industry must remain with me for this morning and not be shared more widely.
I appreciate this opportunity to speak to you, and I wish I could be there in person to share in the honour of having the 3rd International Symposium on Career Development and Public Policy held in Australia.
I think that the Queen serves because her whole lifetime has been one of service. She, I think, would take the view that this is very much a matter for New Zealand. I think she has great affection for New Zealand. She's been coming to New Zealand for a long time.
But we're concerned about many issues. Social justice, you know, the increase in corruption in the country, the fact that we can't seem to trust government departments to be doing their job anymore. The country really needs a lot of change.
We are a team. I mean, it is not a presidential race. It is a parliamentary race, and, you know, I accept my responsibility for what may look like for the people.
It goes without saying that our thoughts and prayers are with the families of those who've lost their lives in this crash, and certainly for all those that have been injured in the crash.
I understand that this is a great privilege, and I will do everything to honour the trust which has been extended to me. I also understand there is a great responsibility involved in national leadership, and I stand ready to accept that responsibility.
It's not an overwhelming ambition. I like the job I do. I've done it for the best part of 25 years. That's been a very long sentence, that one. If I felt that I was the best person in that position, and that Helen had stood aside voluntarily.
We should not think that the United Nations can solve all of the world's problems, nor that it should attempt to do so. And the type of multilateralism embodied in organisations such as the UN.
Mr. President, the challenge to the MDGs, in our view, is to nationalise and localise them in order to achieve the overall performance targets by 2015. While we endorse the importance of ensuring, we urge development partners to increase flows of development assistance to the developing world. I have been encouraged by the United States commitment to the MDGs, as stated by President Bush on Wednesday.
Countries such as Solomon Islands have slipped from the developing to at least developed, and more recently, Mr. President, into a vulnerable state.